All right, today we're diving into something really fascinating. We have a source text that makes some pretty remarkable claims about the healing properties of one specific mineral. Now, our goal here isn't to prove or disprove anything. Instead, we're just going to explore the very specific language the source uses to make its case. Let's get into it.
So, what is this mineral at the center of it all? It's called Aragonite. As we move through this, you'll see how just a few powerful sentences give it this huge range of abilities. We're really going to look at the exact words chosen for each claim.
And that really leads us to the main event. What healing powers does this text say Aragonite has? The claims are pretty varied, so to get a good handle on them, we've sorted them into 3 different categories. Claims about our physical structure, claims about providing relief, and claims about our internal energy. First up, let's talk about the claims that deal with the body's physical structure. The source really kicks things off with some bold statements about how Aragonite can directly impact the very framework of our bodies, our muscles, bones, and nerves.
Now, the first thing that jumps out is just how wide-ranging these statements are. The source uses a very specific, very powerful word. It claims Aragonite cures diseases related to 5 key areas: muscles, bones, nerves, spasms, and even hair loss. This isn't just a suggestion that it might help. It's a direct, sweeping claim of a total cure.
Then the source kind of shifts from these general cures to something more specific about a biological process. It claims the mineral can actually speed up the recovery time for broken bones. That's a subtle but really important change, right? It's gone from curing a disease to actively making the body's own healing system work faster.
Okay, so the source says Aragonite can help rebuild the body's structure. But what about more immediate things like relief from pain or a fever? Does it claim to do that too? Well, the text tackles that next, and it shifts its focus from cures to comfort.
And that brings us to our second category of claims, which you could call properties for relief. Here, the language in the source text really changes. It moves away from the word curing and starts focusing on soothing the body and actively bringing down uncomfortable symptoms.
And you can see that change in language right here in action. The document makes 2 very clear claims: that Aragonite reduces both fever and inflammation. The key verb has changed. We've moved from the definitive cures to the more moderate reduces, which really signals a focus on easing symptoms rather than wiping out the root cause.
So far, all the claims have been about the physical body, its structure, its symptoms, but the source text goes even further, into areas that are a little less tangible. How does it claim Aragonite affects our energy levels in our nerves?
So for our final section, we're moving into the most abstract claims from the source material, the ones that focus on nerves and energy. Here, the text moves from things you can physically measure to the more subjective, personal experience of vitality and inner tension.
The first claim here is really direct. The source just states that Aragonite decreases nervous tension. It's a clear statement about having a calming or stabilizing effect, which puts us right in that subjective, internal state of being we just mentioned. And finally, the source makes what is probably its most subjective claim. I'll read this one exactly as it's written. It gives a feeling of extreme vitality for very tired persons. So the key thing here is that we've moved completely beyond physical symptoms and are now in the world of personal feeling, energy, and just a subjective sense of being well. So, in just a few short sentences, we've seen this source text go all the way from claims of definite cures for physical problems to reducing symptoms, and finally to creating a feeling of vitality. This whole progression, from the objective to the subjective, leaves us with a final bigger question to think about. And it isn't really about Aragonite, but about the language itself. What is it that gives words about healing their power?